And if not, you go. That's the other thing we all do. Oh, we're recording. We did it. Oh, someone just logged into Zoom. Zoom person, can you hear me? Their lack of answer probably means no, right? So,
Sorry, I'm muted. This is
oh,
Ritz, and Corbin is here with us as well. Hi, Kevin.
okay. Can you hear me through the mic?
Yep.
Okay, good. Okay, great. Um, and sorry, who's the other student here? Corbin?
Yep.
Corbin. Natalie, is this second time through Ignite or is this
Yeah.
picking up stuff that you didn't get the first time through?
It's the beginning. I'm like done, but it's, I didn't, I've seen you, I've had
Yeah,
class with you before,
right.
but this is the beginning of, but I started it in August.
Yeah, okay. Okay, cool. I did Ignite once. It was very different when I did it. Back then they had good agency. But then I came back and did it again after like 4 years, and I hated it. And I kind of wish I'd done it again when I was newer, um, because I don't know. I think I was too up my own butt
Oh,
about it. Yeah. Anyway, that's my shtick. How's it going? You're doing a deal with a terrible agent.
uh-huh. It's my second, and I have another client, a buyer.
Great. Okay.
Right now, she's nice. We're working on stuff. It's funny. I'm with states where I'm like, "Oof, I'm almost done with 30, 60, 90, but there's things that I'll be like,
Yeah.
why didn't someone not tell me that?
Yeah.
There's stuff where I'm like, I really needed to know that. And that would have been good to know. And if somebody told me that. So
Mhm.
I want to, things I know, I try to share. And it's stuff that I've learned just from working these two deals that I'm like, I'm going to share these things because I think people forget to share sometimes because they think we learn it or we know it or just assume
Yeah.
that it's more that kind of stuff that you want to just share with people just for, hey, just so you know, this is this and that's that. And oh, okay. And anything I learn or Stacy will tell me or Lucas will tell me, and I'm like, that's fantastic. Thanks for telling me.
Yeah.
So I'm doing the Ignite classes now, the pick and choose kind of stuff. And
Yeah.
when I come in so that I can collaborate with everybody and still get more information and get the things they know and put it in my, memory of things.
Are
That would be
you
so useful?
are you on the PC team or are you on
Yeah.
the A team?
Yeah, I'm on with the PC team. We're all on that together,
Okay.
but it's still, there's things where you're like,
Yeah.
you said the age, but I'm not sure. We're on
over time.
we're on a team together. Once you do your four, then you're done and you go either choose a team or be solo or whatnot. But I am on the solo. I go to the solo meeting
Yeah.
stuff. That's what, yeah.
I'm solo as of this month. I divorced the Morkel team. I had a
Oh.
great time with them. That was actually always the plan. I didn't think I was very good at being a listing agent, and I thought Peter Morkel did a very good job with it. So I sort of did what I thought of as like an internship with him to get better at listings. And then in December, divorce was such a strong word. I mean,
You have separation.
yeah, we went our separate ways. So I'm solo again. I'm feeling good, ready to mingle. So I'm
Yes.
excited to come back to the solo club too, because I like that.
Mhm.
Cool. Okay.
That's me.
Ian.
Got my license mid-November of 2022. So
Okay.
I brought 15 minutes ish. I started over at Keller Williams and I was here for only like a month or less. And I got recruited over to Remax and I worked as a buyer's agent there for probably 6 months.
Which Remax?
Associates and I was on the offense team.
Okay.
And I was restricted to being just a buyer's agent, which is good.
Sure. Yeah.
I wanted to dive more into the listing side because I I know a lot of people here in Utah.
Yeah.
and I know a lot of these people grew up here in Utah, like all the generations, so they've got real estate that needs to get moved. And so I just came over here, like seeking that, and I've now got my first listing under contract right now.
Great.
Under contract over the holidays. It's wonderful. And we're set to close in about 10 days.
So you're very comfortable on the buy side then. I imagine you did good business on Logan Scene. So you just come back, so you want to get in the listing and stuff. Awesome, that's great.
And I like it.
Yeah, that's fair. Let's say I have mixed feelings about Remax. Overall, I have great respect for them as a company. There's a couple things about Remax I was like, that made me not move over. Steve Bond is the main selling point they had from it. Did you ever meet Steve Bond? He left Remax several years ago, but he ran their Provo office when it was there. And when he was there, I was like, every week, I was like, maybe I should have been Remax. He's a fantastic agent, great guy. Then he left Remax. I was like, all right. They seem fine. And I mean they do seem like a fine company, but when Steve Bond left, I was like, all right. Cool. Yeah. Lucas, because Ari, you were sitting back there when I wrote your name down, so we're out of order. Lucas, talk to me.
Got my license end of September, then came straight here, so I've been here since. I've been through a night twice now, so this is my third time going through it. Every time I keep going through it, I learn more and more things. So
Great. Okay.
I'm kind of like navigating, just picking and choosing from now on, and then focusing on gem leading and stuff. But yeah, I like it a lot right now. I haven't had any closings yet, but I had like some potential leads that just ended up having dead ends, they weren't qualified or just weren't ready yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been doing that. I like it a lot. It's fun.
You'll get it. We'll get you.
Yeah. My first closing was 4 months. And so if you're on the Cavan track, you're due. I've heard of 6 months closings before. One thing they actually on the script for this lesson they talk about sometimes takes up to 6. Anyway, don't be discouraged. If you're doing the work, they'll come. You as you probably know, you've joined during a somewhat more challenging market, but just in December it started loosening up significantly. There's good reason to think that interest rates are going to either stay low or even decrease this year. So
I've seen a whole bunch of market people talk about that.
yeah, and I even people who don't stand to make money by blowing smoke about that are saying that. So yeah, anyway, if that's, you haven't expressed any discouragement, but if you're feeling discouraged, because when I was in your exact position, I was like, should I be doing this? Stick with it, man. The money's coming. Ari, talk to me.
My license.
Okay.
I really started here in November.
Okay.
Still feel a lot, have lots to learn, and just try to attend the communication.
You've been here the whole time.
Yeah.
So I remember, like, the beginning.
Right, all right, we have to tell them this is for our, making our boards.
I was there too.
I did was usually why I do that. Come on now, buddy. Goodness.
I think that was the last time I seen them. Was that day?
Yeah, and then especially what last.
Yeah. I keep on too.
They're Friday and super.
I was doing stuff.
I saw you.
So, who is anyone their first time through Ignite? Maybe Stacy, maybe Ari.
Yeah,
And maybe Ian.
I mean, I went, yeah, I did some before, so this is like
Okay,
starting over from the beginning, I think.
So-
Yeah.
we might shake up this lesson, but let's talk about it. Let's talk about how we want to format this. So the name of this one is Embrace Your Job, and the core engine, we're jumping around a little bit, is we were going to talk about the 6 core competencies. And this is when I was at BYU, competency. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. I think of myself as someone who can spell. I'm pretty sure that's how you spell competency. Anyway, I'm not an English teacher. This is kind of like intro to phys science, where this Ignite session is not, this is broad, not deep. It sort of goes, here's a general overview of the stuff that you do in real estate. It sounds like we might not need that. So I'm going to write these down. Let's talk about them briefly, and then maybe let's see if we want to dive into anything with some depth, or let me write these down. Let's talk about them briefly. Let's go from there. So,
Why does it always look like we can't afford a pen down here?
how dare you?
It's not your pen, you can buy
This
it.
marker is beautiful. And then we have like, oh, let's do it this way. Let's do it this way. No, we don't need it. Well, the consultations. Okay, so in Ignite, this is what they give as the 6 core competencies. The first and most obvious one, and what they hammer into in the first half of Ignite, excuse me, is lead generation. If you don't have leads, you don't have a business. And so this is where kind of the bulk of this lesson and the lessons coming after this are going to put their attention. And then consultations is both with buyers and sellers, where we sit down with them. Okay, so the goal of all lead gen. I want to start that sentence over because I was about to say something incorrect. Generally, the goal of lead gen is to get appointments. Okay. Natalie?
Yeah, I told you it sucks. It's a terrible pen.
I'm on team Natalie. Strike, strike, strike.
Well, we were trying to use markers up in the small office the other day and went through 4 of them.
You were trying to protect me.
I did.
And I scolded.
I didn't like to work so hard.
And then consultations, your goal with buyers is to get a buyer broker agreement. And with sellers is to get an exclusive right to sell. Keller Williams, I feel like we've moved away from this in the last couple of years, but there's still a very strong culture of like, get the agreement signed at the consultation. I don't do that. And actually when I'm at consultations, I make fun of agents who do that and I wreck them. But there are advantages to doing it that way, because if you get it signed at the consultation, ain't nobody stealing that client from you. So there's absolutely strengths to that method. But anyway, the goal of your consultation, whether it happens at the meeting or in my case, immediately after, is get them to sign a buyer broker or an exclusive right to sell. Then the objective of showing homes or marketing the listing in both cases is to this is okay. So obviously these are kind of connected. I don't want to get too high concept here, but basically you want to put them under contract for the best possible terms, right? And I don't think that's a complicated idea. Everyone understands if you're representing the buyer, you want to help them save the most money they can. And if you're representing the seller, you want to make them the most money they can. And obviously you want to help them sell or purchase the house, depending on who you represent, right? There's no confusion there, which is not a very pithy way to say that. We're all good. And then the coordinate sale and closing, again, this is just you want to protect your client's interests. So, but interests. With all these, it's really easy to say, lead gen, get the appointment, consultation, get the agreement. After this, it's hard to be quite as pithy. Like, it's very obvious what you're trying to do, but I can't say it in one word. So represent your client's interests. And then manage your money is after you get paid. There's a tendency, especially among new agents, to go, "Oh, I just made, $15,000. I'm going to go buy a $15,000 suit." Don't do that. That's a very common mistake. And then when tax season comes around, you're like, "Wait, I'm not a W-2." Yeah.
Seen somewhere, like somebody broke down percentages, how you should split
Yeah.
the agreements. I don't recall what it was, but something was to the effect of taxes, and this is
Yeah.
for taxes, and this is side for your marketing, and
So I don't pretend to be good at this, but I can show you what I do.
That's one of those things.
Actually, let me start over.
That's that thing we're talking about where it's like, oh, that'd be nice to know, wouldn't it?
So in Ignite, you are going to go into great detail on all of these topics. Literally, the whole point of this lesson was to introduce all of these ideas to you, kind of be like, are any of these a totally alien idea to you? And so I guess my question is, are any of these a totally alien idea to you that you don't know what I'm talking about? Cool. Then we can just kind of open this up. This is going to be kind of loosey-goosey. The main thing they want you to do, that they want me to talk about today, is lead gen, getting you set up with some kind of accountability. Was everyone here for, what is the Ignite schedule right now? Is it Monday, Wednesday, Friday?
Yeah, today's Monday. Yes.
I have infant at home and no concept of that. So,
Yeah.
do you guys have accountability partners?
We just check in. We check in and do it.
Okay.
bonus of being in this thing for coaching.
Or we check in and do that.
Would you do that kind of?
Really? Yeah.
And we also
Yeah.
started with, and we started like some Zoom calling now at 8 in the morning.
Awesome.
And then that's when we say what's our goal for the day, and so kind of like after we do, we did order time to do yesterday, something like that.
It was today.
It was second, yeah.
That was the other thing I actually missed. I had no idea what that was, and I was dealing with my mother. I had mother callings this morning.
Yeah, it just started last Friday. Last Friday was the first one.
I think that's like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have to turn your camera on or anything, just. Yeah.
Okay, good to know. Thanks. See, this is why we come to these things.
Okay. Are you doing when I was in Ignite, we did the 10x4. What I read when I was doing the instructor manual, did not have the 10x4. It was a 10x3, 10 contacts, 10 database ads, 10 notes. Are you guys doing that?
That's what we've met with. I've met with her on that.
Okay.
You guys all met with her? Yeah.
The other thing, that I did when I was in Ignite that I question its value, but I think there's an easier and just as valuable version of it is they had us tour 10 houses a week. And the way I'd do that is I just call agents and I'd say, hey, can I tour your listing? And I worded it really weirdly because I didn't have any buyers. And it made agents feel weird because that's an odd request. So what I would recommend doing that is instead watching the market. But I'm getting all Higgledian out of order. So my first question then is, how is that going? Do you have questions about lead gen or accountability or any way I can help you with those things? Because if that's not working, nothing in your business will work.
Okay, question.
Yeah.
So if you're a pretty accountable person for yourself to start with and you are driven, are you fine? Do you need to be accountable to people?
I don't know what it's like to be a good accountable to myself type person,
Okay,
but I assume so. I every high performing agent I know has at some point in their career or currently has a coach.
okay,
I am willing to believe there are people out there who are so darn good at holding themselves accountable that they don't need an external force to do it. I am not such a person, so I can't speak to that. I have several accountability partners.
okay.
And I don't know, I find that tremendously useful. I think, yeah, I don't know. Did that answer your question?
Yeah, I just was curious.
Yeah, if you are setting goals and your goals are consistently pushing you and you are not letting yourself off when you don't hit your goals, then you're doing it right. Lucas.
Just my question is because I know like having an accountability partner is very important, right? But I know also that agents have like their own path into like real estate. They have their own like ways of getting gem lead and stuff.
Yeah.
And so is it like recommended to find a accountability partner that's like in the same realm as you, like same person that has like same scenarios you get a gem lead? Because like for example, for me it's different than like Natalie, because Natalie has a lot of contact lists that are like older, can buy houses, where my gem lead is kids my like, because they tell us to call your SOI, but my SOI is just kids my age, 19, 20-year-olds that are in college right now.
Right.
So that's how a different type of gem lead. That's why Andrew was telling me to do like door knocking, open houses, different stores to lay at.
Right.
So should I have like an accountability partner doing around the same stuff that I'm doing, so it'll be easier for have each other as like accountable if we're doing the same stuff, or does it really matter?
That's a great question.
Just gonna say, I don't think it should matter.
So I could kind of go either way on that. I think there are ways that it can matter and ways that it doesn't. One of the big things I've noticed, humor me, do you think of yourself as a millennial or Gen Z?
We're not, you know,
All right.
See, but I would think of him as more millennial because I think Lucas is far more grown up than most Gen Zs. But millennial
older.
Well, millennial's older, because my daughter's 20, she's 26 and she's a millennial, my son's 23. And he's a Gen
It's
Z.
all made up anyway, so you can kind of.
But I think Lucas is more mature than my 23-year-old. He's a little less, you know what I mean? He's more mature. That's why I'm saying, I would say he's more millennial-esque than the Gen Z.
You're just a Gen Z, that's.
No, he just has more millennial type.
Like, even if you're responsible, the baby boomer, like, you're.
He just said stuff like it's more millennial, but like he'll tell us stuff and it sounds more like my daughter and I'm like, there you go.
I think it's because I know a lot.
So-
His brain is millennial. I think his brain is millennial. The more you talk to him, I think it's way more millennial.
The reason I bring it up is
Ari's like, shut up.
so I was born in 84. I think of myself as millennial, even though I could claim Gen X if I wanted to. But when I came to Keller Williams, the doctrine was never text. Don't text. Texting doesn't work. And yeah, I get why boomers think that. If you call a millennial on the phone during business hours, they will be confused. They're like, what is happening? Why are you calling me? Why was this not a text? And so now Bold, our like boot camp training thing that Keller Williams says, they have changed their doctrine, because finally, millennials got older. They're like, by the way, texting works. We're all making a bunch of money texting. And so then they're like, oh yeah, texting's fine. Voice to voice is more powerful than texting, but millennials just don't pick up our dang phones. I'm a salesman and I don't pick up my phone.
Actually, last Friday, so I have a friend of mine, her older sister just got married. So I called her to see if I can like reach out to her sister to see if like she's willing to plan in for 24 to buy a house or something. I called her, she didn't answer, so I instantly like sent her a text, and she instantly responded. I was like, "Why don't you just answer
Yeah.
You're like,
the
oh,
phone?"
your stupid phone.
And so the reason I bring that up is one, because generation stuff is hilarious, and two, because your question is interesting. You do want someone who understands the position you're in. If you have an accountability partner or a coach who's like, just call your SOI, just call your SOI, and you're calling college students, you're right, college students. I did an event, or sorry, I planned an event where we were going to do Super Smash Brothers, because I know a lot of like my friends really like Super Smash Brothers. Yeah. And we saw that a whole bunch of college students responded. And we're like, nope. And we canceled the event because I don't want to spend $500 on the college students. Because look, in 4 or 5 years, yeah, you're going to make bank off your college student friends. But I wasn't interested in that investment. I wanted to get my graduate friends, the people who are buying houses. So you want to make sure that there's someone who understands your situation and isn't going to give you bad advice. On the same note, you want someone who will call you on your crap. And so, and I wish there was like a clean and obvious answer, except that if you are doing something and it is perpetually not working, and your accountability partner is just feeding you comforting lies, then that's not a good accountability partner. The problem with that is it's really hard to detect, because you want to tell yourself, oh, I'm working 10-hour days, 14-hour days. You know, I'm putting in the work. I should be making bank right now. But it might be that you're doing the wrong stuff, you know? And so it sounds like your head is screwed on straight. You're right that talking to 19, 20-year-olds, you should be talking to them, because 4 or 5 years, 7 or 8 years, they are going to make you a ton of money. But right now you need to be talking to the 27, 28-year-olds. Did that answer your question?
Yeah, thank you.
Because I took like 10 minutes to talk about millennials and boomers.
No, that hit right on the-
But I
for
agree
now.
with you, even I don't call a ton of them, I text them, then I'm like, oh, they're not gonna answer the phone, text, boom.
Yeah.
You know, cause when it's call, and I'm like, nope, they wanna text, nope, they
Yeah.
wanna text, some you can call, and others, you just straight text.
Yeah.
And it's know your audience too.
Mhm.
I know I'm not gonna text baby boomers.
Yeah.
I've got to either stop by their house or
Yep.
call them. And then even in my generation, I mean, it kind of graduated from, I'm not gonna answer the door, you just don't show up to somebody's house unannounced from to be no type of situation out there. You still do that, because now that's rude. And then on my generation, we don't want to pick up our phone calls, we get a phone call. It's like you said, like, no, text me, and it's just, it seems that generation.
See, and I have to pick mine up, cause I've had my business for so long that I have to pick up random weirdos.
No, that part, no. That's
But I'm like,
totally get it.
oh,
Yeah.
really? Just because I've had to, yeah, being, having my own business, you have to pick it up, and it sucks.
Person of your job doesn't require it.
Yeah, I speak creepers.
Okay, there's 2 things I do want to drive home about lead gen, because lead gen is something I think I poorly understood when I started. Are there any other questions? Because I don't want to keep this pretty free form. I don't mind if we jump around. The main thing, and this is something I try to point out in all of my classes. I think the main thing I want you all to walk away from is feeling like you're not alone. Because that's the main problem I had when I started at Keller Williams, and it was a very different culture in brokers when I started here. But like there is always someone here who is knowledgeable and wants to help you. COVID made this brokerage feel like a ghost town and still kind of does, but we're all here sort of around. And while we're at it. I'm generally a nice person and I answer texts and almost never answer phone calls. So if you want help from me, who is Kevin, go ahead and text your name to this phone number. So with lead gen, yeah, no, let's keep it simple. We're going to talk about the 2 objectives you have with lead gen. Aha! Your main objective is to get appointments. And your secondary objective is to get information. In general, this means phone number, address. Oh.
Your last name, Kevin, is help?
It helps, yeah.
Oh, I thought you were just saying Kevin helps you. I'm like, okay, cool.
I was like, oh, that's an angle.
I was like, that's awesome, Kevin helps.
Yeah.
I was like, that's the most awesome angle ever, Kevin helps.
Yeah. So I have people tell me, like, you should use that to advertise. And that's, the problem is that doesn't look like a name as we just demonstrated. And so I did finally make a Facebook post that said, Kevin helps you sell. And so now TechLab made it to an ad, so I can tell people that.
I love it. I think it's cool.
You should make that your slogan.
Yeah.
But the thing is, people don't know it's my name.
Well, I just thought it's Kevin helps you sell is what I was thinking you were going like.
I'll take it.
It's cool. Kevin helps.
I've actually been strongly considering moving to changing my online name to Kevin, like Kevin Anthony,
Uh-huh.
because Anthony is my middle name,
Oh,
and that way it's just recognizable. And then I could be like Kevin helps
that's cool.
if I wanted to, and then it'd be like it would be a slogan. Anyway, that's a very different conversation, one I've been having with myself for about 10 years. Okay. So when you're doing lead gen, your number one priority is, of course, you want to get appointments with people to buy or sell their houses. Your second one is you want to gather information because you want to put them into your machine on command that is going to contact them automatically for you.
That is a nightmare. In and of itself, the command trying to set up that crap, send out emails and all that whole crap, that is sucks.
I haven't found it to be that bad, but fair enough.
Are you talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought-
Awesome.
If you do find it nightmarish, which is fair, Hunter can essentially do it for you. And Hunter was in here earlier. You all know Hunter. He's a good dude.
Yeah.
So the script that they mentioned in the manual that I actually really like. So there's actually a thing they want me to read to you. Honor the do not call list. Don't call someone on the do not call list. How do you check the do not call list? I don't know. I'm not actually sure. So yeah. Yeah.
The only thing I know is that you can get like phone numbers from like Reddit and stuff
Mhm.
that will be like qualified callers that are not only do not call
Yeah.
us, but there's no like list that you can find that says do not.
Yeah, I think there's like a paid subscription service you can do to get it. But I don't. Maybe Hunter. That I actually don't know. That's something I should have checked on.
We heard about the guy that sues everybody.
Oh yeah.
That's
Yeah.
all he does is sue you if you call.
Susie Clyde was telling us about that
Yeah.
from a team meeting, from those Tuesday team meetings, that there's a guy that just sits around at his house.
And he
for a
just
phone call,
makes a
and
living off of it.
he sues people that calls him.
That's the people's hero right there. like that guy.
It just makes, double digits.
Yeah.
Just so people-
Huh.
That's his job. Winner.
I want to be more like that guy. So yeah, honor the do not call list because there's guys like that guy out there. And frankly, I don't think he's wrong. So go that guy. So when you contact people, generally, like you've got the good heavens, I'm so absent-minded today. Generally, I'm thinking of when you're calling your SOI.
Hey,
You could do that.
so
Hello?
I just, hi, I'm online. So
Hi.
I just put the link to the do not call list.
Oh,
There's like a
wonderful.
national registry online that you can check. So I just put the link to it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That was April, I think, talking.
Wait, did she put the link
Yes.
on the Zoom chat or on the WhatsApp chat?
Lucas is asking if you can put it in the WhatsApp.
Sure.
Will one of you copy that and then text it to me because I didn't know about this? April, you're a hero. So when you contact people, if you don't have all this information about that person, and you have a non-awkward way to grab it, do it, right? And then ask their permission. Say, hey, do you mind if I stay in touch with you about real estate? So with, and they're going to talk to you about the social media class and other things. We're like, hey, I send out a monthly email newsletter that just talks about what's happening in your neighborhood. Command has like, you can push 5 buttons and it will automatically send them a monthly thing that literally what is happening in their neighborhood. To do that, you need their address and their email address. And just literally ask them, it's like, hey, would you like to see an email once a month just saying what's happening in your neighborhood in real estate? If they say no, don't do it. Like don't make it weird, guys. Just be nice.
Actually, I don't think that helped. So you'd see it.
Oh, if he's on the group chat, then you would be able to see it.
Oh, you can't see it.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not in the WhatsApp.
Sorry.
I'm on no team.
Gosh.
Oh yeah, he just like bored.
Well,
Yeah,
this was
I just
for-
got a divorce,
this was
although I'm
for
happily
what,
married
Katie?
to a woman in literal marriage. But other than that, I'm divorced.
Okay. Hold on, I'll just send it to you.
There's one other concept, this is not from the manual, but I found this very useful. Because I am very anti-salesy. And I'm not telling you that you have to be, but this is my style. I don't like calling people in the attitude of how can they help me, right? And in general, that is bad sales practice. And so you want to rank your everyone you know when you go through your SOI. And again, there is going to be an Ignite class that covers this, although I don't know if they're going to cover it quite like this. So everyone you know fits into one of these categories. And this is going to be the most capitalist thing you're ever going to hear because we're ranking people by how much money they're going to make you. A is your mom, okay, probably. This is people who like you, who want you to be successful. And if you literally called them and said, hey, I desperately need to make a sale. Do you know anyone who's going to sell their house? Like if you literally said that sentence, they would not find it weird and they would rack their brain to try and find someone that would want to sell their house. These are your A clients, your A contacts. So your goal is you want people to be A contacts. B is people who like you, who probably want you to be successful, but you're not so comfortable with that you can just call them and be like, what's up? Give me a lead, right? You need to have some more pretext to give them a call. Most of the people you know and like are probably Bs. C is people that you are not even, like you don't even start. With B, you could just call them at any time for any reason. They'd be happy to hear from you. But a salesy call would be weird for me. C is even contacting them out of the blue would be a little odd. You need a pretext to call. D is they don't like you and you probably dread talking to them. Also, other real estate agents are all Ds just by definition. Because we're going to work on leads. We're not going to give you our leads. And so we like you and we do want you to be successful. And maybe they'll give you leads, but it's going to be for some quid pro quo thing. Agents are the worst. We're the worst people. So
So what was the thing again?
D is people that if you think about talking, like, oh, I really don't want to talk to this person. Don't necessarily put your exes in this category. I have sold a shocking number of homes to my exes. If you're still on good terms with your exes, maybe, probably not, but maybe. So don't give up on your exes, people. Yeah, no, I was surprised too. It's like, I can just call her, sold her 2 weeks. Her
Wow.
husband.
Wow.
I don't know if he knew I was her ex-boyfriend, but doesn't matter. Not important. Okay. So while you're going through contacts, if it's a D, if you're like, this person hates me or I hate this person, just remove them from your CRM.
Or you don't know who they are. You're like, who the crap is this?
That could be a C. It depends. I leave that to your judgment. I'm fine calling that a D or a C.
I think that's a C.
Oh, also, if they are not a human being, they're a D. So if it's like Jones painting glass. So yeah, with D's, ignore them. With C's, you're gonna call them whenever you have an event or a giveaway or something like that. Like something where you have a very blatant offer you can give to them. And so Keller Williams twice a year, we have Keller Ween and what's this other one called? Keller Splash. We're like, hey, we're doing Keller Splash. Come on, I'd love to see you there, you cool little nerd. And so that happens twice a year. If you have the resources, like if you're going to join a team, or if you just feel like investing in doing your own events or through the Solo Agent Club, you might be able to do 4 of these a year, which would be awesome. Then yeah, call your C's, but you're going to need a pretext to call them. With your B's, you have no excuse for not calling them at least quarterly. They should be invited to your events, obviously. Same with your A's, should be invited to your events. And then guys, I swear I took my ADHD meds this morning, like mid-sentence. What was I doing? No need to rate me as a teacher today. I won't give you the link. But when you talk, you be quiet.
I find you so highly entertaining.
Okay. So when you call your B's, and if you're brave C's, and if you're self-destructive, your D's, you can use what's called the Ford calls. Do you guys know what this is? This might be a review for all or some of you.
Family occupation and recreation.
Perfect. If you follow that, that's the correct answer. Okay. Ari, are you good in this? I couldn't see you. Okay, cool.
You said the Ford script is for B's.
No, honestly, I would literally never call your D's. They're gonna take gas out of your tank and just ruin your day. If you're feeling brave and cool, do it, man. I don't call my D's. It slows everything down. I sit there going, I don't want to call him. I don't want to call him, and so I just wouldn't call him. But maybe you're a better salesman than I am. You probably are. Let's be real. So go ahead, but I'd skip them. Something Peter Morkel would always say that I actually really liked is the best kind of prospecting is the prospecting that you will actually do. And so if you're like, yeah, I'm going to door knock 10 hours a day, and you dread door knocking, that's a stupid plan. Similar to millennial agents who are like, yeah, I'll just get on the phones and call everyone. And then you start your time block and you stare at your phone for 2 hours trying to psych yourself up to call. That's terrible. That's bad prospecting. Just text. If you will text, that's better than not calling, you know? So if you will call your Ds, sure, give it a shot. But for me, it's such an energy suck. Whereas all of these are energy generators. I like talking to these, but especially these people, I like talking to them. And so it sort of builds momentum. And then, yeah, so all of your people should be hearing from you. Ideally, they should be hearing your voice. But at very, very least, you should be having a two-way conversation with them every quarter. Yeah, so with Cs and Bs, your goal is to promote them, right? And with As, when you call them, you should be asking them about real estate on your quarterly call. Presumably, you're talking to them more than once a quarter. And then, yeah, just be a normal human with them, but at least once a quarter, you should be directly asking them for business, unambiguously. You can be brave with your Bs and do it with them pretty safely as well, but with your As, you have no excuse. You need to say, do you know anyone? Or do you have any real estate questions? There must be a very direct ask with your As, or you're not doing your job. I know. That's why you need to understand these tiers.
I hate talking on the phone. I know you find that.
Well, throw it in text.
But it's still like hey, I mean, there are people you're your friends and stuff with you, everybody's busy, life's busy, but you still, you gotta do the catch-up phone call first. Then the next phone call is the.
So if you need a catch-up phone call, you're probably talking about C.
Well, but you've known for like 30 years, but it's the, catch-up phone call because life's busy.
No, I understand.
But I just hate phone calls.
Yeah, I used to call those icebreakers.
Yeah.
And that's, if you do that.
As long as you've broken the ice, then you're good the next time.
I would argue that's a C, and once you've done your catch-up, you've made them a B.
I kind of feel like that with every phone call builder I'll see.
So do them more consistently, Natalie.
I'm trying. I really hate it. That psycho thing you talk about me, I want to have like a nervous breakdown over every phone call.
I really, really understand that, and I've been there. I'm not trying to minimize it because that's a very real phenomenon that you're describing. The best solution is do it with someone in the room with you.
Really? How come?
Because then they'll watch you get on Facebook or whatever it is you're doing to avoid doing what you're doing.
No, I do the phone call. I just have to go like do a mental moment and then do it. And then I'm fine.
No, then you're fine.
As soon as I get on the phone, I'm fine. It's just.
Oh, heck, girl, then you're fine.
Getting to the phone. Yeah, I don't. You what?
Throwing the balls to do it.
Well, I really can't throw those. I just have to straighten up a backbone because I probably can't grow any of those balls, but I understand.
I
got you. But
grow the ovaries to do it.
Yeah, I still have those, but you know what I mean? I just have to it's a mental psycho where I'm like, okay, I can do this. And then I get on the phone and then the minute I get on the phone, I'm totally fine. I love strangers, just not people I know.
If it's working, party on. If the psych up's taking too long, put someone in the room with you. It works for me.
I walk around my house.
Party on.
Okay. So
Or,
it's okay.
or do whatever.
Be like that.
I mean, if it's working, it sounds like you're doing business. So
Business. I know lots
yeah.
of people.
The arbiter is, are you closing deals? And if you're closing deals, then it's working. And if you're not, then it's not. I mean, I can't judge it, but the market is judging you all the time.
It is judging.
So yeah.
It is judging me.
Okay. This is all the technical stuff that we're covering. You're going to go in way more detail into lead gen in a future lesson. Although, again, since we all kind of know the overview, we can go into more detail today if you want. The main question I want to cover then is, I think I've said that 6 times today. Are there any obstacles to lead generation that we should cover? Is anyone not doing their lead gen? Is anyone finding their lead gen is hitting a wall that we can talk about? Because if that's not working, again, there's no reason to continue. Everyone feels like their lead gen is working?
It's been a trial and error trying to figure out how to reach out to those people my age and not calling because I don't tell people and they're not going to answer. And so it's more like, hey, how do I bring that to maybe social media or
okay.
my kind of make it more personalized to me. So still different.
You want to talk about that?
Can I tell you what Chris does that I thought was really fantastic? She was joined like a book club and different things like that, just to put herself more out there and to be with more people, which I thought was a really good idea because I'm with you and don't want to tell people and kinds of things, but I thought that was like a gym and a book club and maybe whatever, like dancing, if there's like say salsa dancing or country dancing or things that just put you out. The more people you know, the more people they know. And that's true. And I don't like posting on social media a ton. So because Okay, here's the thing, I am super. And Lucas dies over this, and he'll tell you in just a second when I say this, I am very self-conscious and I feel very nervous and I don't want people to judge me. And I don't like to put stuff out because I'm worried that people are judging me, so me putting things out on social media is like a huge deal for me, Brandon. And like I just said, Kevin, I love strangers. And I can talk to any stranger on the face of the planet, but to talk to my family or to have, because I don't have a lot of encouragement, because when Kevin's like, oh, call your mom, call your family, be like, hey, find someone, I need someone to sell a house, I would never ask my family, never would I ever ask my family to hook me up with someone to help me sell a house, ever, because I feel so judged. So I'm really quiet. I never talk about business around my family ever. So for me to go out and be like, yes, let's join that. Let me talk about this. So that kind of thing is huge. And I like small crowds. And I don't like to speak and see this is a small crowd so I can talk. But a large crowd with a smiling face on. I think he's giving a laugh as well because a large crowd. And he will testify to this.
Can I just add two things to that? One, to make fun of Natalie. So she's really talkative and was a small group like this, but when we had like this code of ethics thing, or like it was like 4 hour long thing with new agents, she was the most silent person in the room. She like talked twice, and I was like, yeah, I'm talking alone. But besides that, like she didn't say a word. That was hilarious. But another thing though is I'm trying to what Ari was saying, like it's hard to like talk to people, but yeah. She was like, you do go outside, you do see a lot of people. Usually you'll learn how to actually go out and like talk to everyone when you see people, like, because I go to the gym and everything, I just don't talk to people, so you just have to go out of your like comfort zone and actually start talking to people.
The grocery store,
like,
yeah.
So it's not like you don't go out and you don't do stuff, it's just you gotta like push yourself to talk to people, like meet people.
I'm trying to be more like aware of those things, like I go out and I can have interactions every day, I'm just so like, I'm very like, let me do my thing, let me not, and I just go out my way and like keep my head down and like let me get my groceries, let me no. So it's like if I'm more intentional, like there's so many interactions to be had and so many conversations to be had. And so I'm trying to, that's like my favorite. I'm trying to be intentional when I'm outside.
But that's me too. I have two checkers at the grocery store to one of my homes. So I gave one a card and I'm working on her. And the other one wants to buy a home too, so I'm working on her as well. I gave out a business card at the nail salon. And so I'm trying, I mean, they may never call me, but the two grocery ladies, we're working on it. Because it's I despise the grocery store, we need to know that. So I have to actually intentionally go to the grocery store with my husband who loves to shop. And I just want to like, every time I walk in,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Intentional, because Calvin told me these things the last time I was here. That he said,
I think I did lead gen last time, right?
Yes, you did lead gen,
Okay.
and he said you have to go outside of yourself, is what he said. Go outside of yourself where you're uncomfortable. And it made so much impact. I was so thrilled with the way you talked.
I'm gonna like go to into real estate. I just don't know how to start this.
I would be like Calvin when I grow up. No, you're my type of guy. I don't like to sell.
Will second that, like she's commented about being able to sell seeds that we're not.
So
Yeah, when you're not here, I have commented about you.
Oh my.
Yep, positive things.
just gradually start rolling.
I mean, like when.
40, what's 40?
The 40.
Oh, 400,000. Oh,
Yeah.
tell us how to do our.
Yeah, we're gonna do a really quick economic model because I want to I think I'm asking some unfair questions of relatively new agents, and so I want to show you how to answer the questions I'm asking. Okay, because when I ask if the lead gen is working, I want to show you mathematically how to know if your lead gen is working. For argument's sake, I'm going to say everyone in this room should be making $100,000 a year. Early in your career, I think that is a tiny bit ambitious, very achievable in your first year. Not likely in your first year, but very possible is how I'd like to put it. A lot of agents do it, most don't. And then in successive years, 100,000 it's never easy, but it's doable. Most agents who stick with it will be making 100. And then as you get later in career, you're going to far exceed that. And so we're gonna put 100,000 just for argument's sake as the target. That's $1 million.
I mean, that'd be awesome.
Okay, the median sale in Utah is a little over $500,000. However, for newer agents, it's more likely that you're selling
400,000.
below the median, and so we're gonna call it 400,000. 3% of 400,000 is 12,000. 1% of that is gonna go to the government. It's gonna go to random nonsense. 8,000 might actually be a tiny bit generous, but I don't think so. This is an okay, reasonable estimate.
7,000.
Yeah,
Will
and
that be like after the cap, like being able to get to commission?
oh, you're right. So we do wanna, how much do you pay to the productivity coaching team?
50% Fell for, till you sell 4, they take 50%.
Okay,
So I can tell you how much it exactly is. If you sell
Yeah.
400, this house is $458,000, they take half of it, then you get $7,025 of that. And then after you pay all your bills and everything, and then you pay all the things, that's what you get, a 725.
so if we're assuming you're only selling at exactly 400, productivity coaching team after your 4 deals will have taken 12K.
Yeah,
Excuse me. So then you need to net 130. Well, not net, you know what I'm saying. And then that's the taxes. The math on this is a little janky, but this is just for instance. Okay, so the Gary Keller doctrine,
you take 30.
I should have tested this in my own career, but I don't
They take
keep good enough
35%,
track.
right?
Yes, and then, so we're assuming you can.
Oh.
And so you're gonna pay 18,000 if you can.
Okay,
And so the Gary Keller doctrine is for every 12 people in your database, you make 2 sales. Why is it not 6 by 1? He makes a really good argument about that, and I forget what it is. But for every 12, you make 2. So 8,000. So that would be, you need 130. So 130,000 divided by 8,000. What's 130 divided by 8?
would you like me to do some math?
Yes.
Okay, hold on.
So 10.
16.25,
Okay.
because I can't do that in my brain.
So you need to make 17 sales. So then for that to work, you need to have 12 times 9 people in your database.
Hold on,
108.
I have 0 math.
There you go.
Okay.
I have no brain left. It took my math out, 108 for reals.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is, when I say 108, you need 108 A tier people in your database. This is people who like you and want to send you referrals. And that is a fairly tall order. All of you have A tier people in your life, because you're all charismatic and good looking. So I don't know if you have 108 of them, maybe.
Make us feel good on Monday, thank you.
I got you, baby.
We showered.
And so this is 108 people who want you to be successful and are hearing from you regularly. And so the question is, do you have that? And if not, so, okay, yeah, there's 2 things you need to be doing. Your database, you either need to be in building mode or maintenance mode. And these are things that I partially made up and are partially based on Keller Williams doctrine.
It's quite terrific though.
I'm not gonna maintenance. So in building mode is what I did in Ignite. What I believe you guys are doing in Ignite is the 10 by 3. We're gonna do the 10 by 4. Okay.
Can you remind me what the 10 by 4 is?
We're gonna do it right now.
Uh,
Did everyone get my phone number who wants it?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. I'm committed to spending more time in the office this year, especially now that I'm solo again. So I should be just around. I don't have an office anymore. So I don't know where I'll be physically, but
Like the rest of us in our house with people around us.
yeah. Yeah, we'll see. Okay, so 10 contacts a day. I think this should be a bare minimum. This, if you're having trouble doing this, then I get when you're new, this can feel daunting, but guys, you've got to get there. This is a bare minimum. Also, if you want to take a day off, do 20 the day before. It doesn't have to be, there's nothing magical about 10 a day, but
Just need to
kind
be
of
done.
is. There is something magical about 50 a week. Let's put it that way. 10 notes a day. I would parcel those out because that makes your hand cramp like crazy. I've changed mine to 2 notes a day, but that's not what Ignite is doing. You're doing 10 a day. Suck it, nerds.
It's a lot.
I've been doing, so I believe the Ignite system is you call people and then write them a note. It was nice to talk to you. I like your teeth, whatever. I've been doing gratitude notes, and when you finish Ignite, I would switch to a lower number because 10 really made my hand cramped like crazy. But I'd think of 2 people the previous day who had done something nice for me. I'd be like, hey, thank you. I really appreciate how you did X. The handwritten notes, immensely powerful. Hand delivering is very ambitious. I would mail them, but if you hand deliver, that's going to be a really powerful contact. You're not going to have time. But if you hand deliver 1 or 2 a week or something like that, that'll be very powerful.
Even mail is good. I had a guy that came to my house to look at some stuff for me for an electrician. Came to look at on this nightmare that I'm dealing with, and I sent him $10 in Costa Vida cards and sent him a handwritten note. You know, found his address, and he sent me a text back. He's like, "Thank you so much for the thank you card. That was so sweet of you." Blah 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 blah, and a funny gift and stuff, and he was thrilled.
Okay.
So it made him, you know, it really made his day.
Yeah. Well, and that gives you a face-to-face contact
And
with
he has
someone,
property
which is
he's
the
got to sell.
highest on the hierarchy of contacts.
Yes, and he has property to sell.
Nice.
I didn't know that.
So 10 contacts added. While you're in Ignite, I believe that's just, you're required to do that every day that you're in Ignite. And then until you have 108 A tier. Yeah.
Would that include like moving someone from like the B to an A? Would that be considered as one of the added to your A tier?
I guess maybe not.
That's a fair question. I want to say no, but follow your heart.
I'm like, that's a long thought.
During Ignite, definitely no. After Ignite, follow your heart.
Building your SOI, so like you're still working on that.
Yeah. Well, and then after Ignite, what I think you need to be doing is adding at least 1 new person a week, and that is someone you have not met becomes someone added to your database. So I'll put new person. Because what this is trying to do in Ignite is trying to force you to think of every person you already know. No one's meeting 10 new people a day. That's not reasonable or sustainable. And then the last thing that I didn't bring my laptop with me. We might be able to do it on here if I can remember my password. I want to show you guys how to do a market survey. Market survey. What am I doing? Yeah. Market surveys, Dean had me do them every day. If you do them every day or even every week, you will be smarter than 90% of the agents in the industry. It'll give you a better finger on the pulse of what's happening than most realtors have. Because most realtors would be like, oh, we're in a buyer's market or whatever. Yeah.
Market survey, you mean like market, like property?
Yeah, essentially. So this is not necessarily something you put out on social media. I mean, it is, you should do it occasionally. I wouldn't do one every day. Because nobody cares about it that much. But where you get on the MLS, I'll show you do. Basically, you check active versus under contract backup versus sold. And you say how many months of inventory, and you just watch that number, and it sort of gives you an idea of what's happening. I'll show you guys how to do it. But if you do this, we'll get into this, or we can do it later. How much of your time am I wasting?
I'm curious about how this market survey.
Oh, it's 11 o'clock. My gosh. All right. Okay. Okay. Does anyone have a burning question they wish I had addressed? Okay.
What you're talking about, the market survey.
Okay, let's do it. Very weird to look at my own face on Zoom. Your Chrome, baby. How do I open an incognito window on Chrome on Mac? Is it Command I? Control I? You can see this, right? Oh, you cannot see this.
$36 would be just too bad.
Okay. Your time with Ignite is expended. You are free to go. I'm gonna show you how to pull up market data here. If you would like to, but if you have places to go, believe me, I understand. This was delightfully haphazard. All right, everyone who wants to learn how to do this, come over here.
Chair here. Where are you at? Oh, on the.
So there's a couple things you should be familiar with. The first one that I was talking about that you should do, I think, on a weekly basis, just so it's sort of drilled into your brain, is the absorption report. You can do the entire state of Utah. I like to do my area of practice, which is Utah and Salt Lake counties, which are going to be a bit different. But for argument's sake, let's go ahead and do the entire state of Utah. Did I just hit back? I am not Macintosh proficient. Actually, no, I want to show you how to do the county. So if you want to do the entire state of Utah, you just hit view results and you're good.
Yep. So
But since I practice in Utah and whoops, Salt Lake counties, are you all familiar with the MLS?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pays them a lot of money.
Okay. So this will show you, whoops, oh my goodness.
I don't know how to work this either.
It's when I'm doing this, it's
Yeah.
telling me to go back on the browser, which is not a function I'm familiar with. This is showing you the months of inventory in the context of the last 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 5, 6, and 12 months. Do you know what I mean when I say months of inventory?
What?
So if nobody puts anything on the market ever again, and we sell at the same rate we are now, how many months until we run out of houses? And so low numbers indicates a seller's market, and high numbers indicates a buyer's market. This is